What's everybody? How's it hanging? How's it happening? You guys know this is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast, brought to you by Dark Future Systems, the best in your own custom computing needs, whether it's gaming, streaming, creative, whatever it is. Dark Future Systems has the custom PC for you. You get $100 off your entire bill. Use code CPPOD at darkfuturesystems.com. Link in the description of the podcast. Mention it at checkout. Anytime during your build, you'll get that $100 off. Ooh, yeah. Now it's time for feature presentation. Brand new artist Hunter Oliveri is on the podcast today. And if you want to get to know about a new artist, young, signing with Spinefarm Records at 17 years old, and just taking all the chances he can to make his dream happen, yeah, this is the one for you. Plus, firing water balloons at a moving car. Yeah, I did that, and it gives Hunter one hell of an idea for a music video. Ooh, yeah, you guys ready for a great one? Let's go! Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of the Chord Progression Podcast, you guys all know I love showing you as much new music as possible. I love getting behind newer artists because those are the artists that are going to be taking over the scene the next 10 years or so. And why wouldn't you want to get on now so you can brag to your friends that you've been a fan of them since the beginning? And here is one perfectly for you. This guy right here got signed to Spinefarm Records at the age of 17. I mean, holy shit, how do you get to that? Like, you get a full-on record deal at 17 with his 90s grunge infused with alt-rock style. You can check out his brand new song, Dumb, which is out now, so don't be dumb. Check it out after this episode. So please welcome Hunter Oliveri to the Chord Progression Podcast. So Hunter, welcome to the Chord Progression Podcast.
Yo, thanks for having me. What up?
Dude, thanks for being on, dude. I'm just going to jump into this. The fact that you're signed to a record deal at 17 years old is absolutely astounding. Like, I'm mind blown. How the hell did you make this happen?
Thank you, bro. I mean, from like the beginning, or?
I mean, you can start at the beginning. You can go full on like superhero origin story, like the first Iron Man movie if you want. I wouldn't say go DC Comics movies because we all know how those turn out. So yeah, go full like Marvel superhero origin story movie for me, man. About your story.
All right. I grew up loving like rock. Obviously, my dad kind of put me on when I was young. Taught me the guitar a bit, and always was playing like Linkin Park, Deftones, Soundgarden, all these bands. And I kind of like fell in love with just rock music in general, and started making music. I was probably like 13 or so. Kind of made some like hip hop stuff, pop, kind of like a mix of stuff. And then just started like posting stuff on SoundCloud or whatever. And it's kind of like a funny story because the way I got with my manager and it ended up signing was I was like at this coffee shop, and my grandpa like introduced himself to this guy whose son ended up having like this studio in my city. And there was like this big deal. I was trying to work with him, but he didn't want to do it because he didn't work with like local artists. So that was like not possible, but we just kind of like kept pushing him. We got his number, and finally like got in the studio with him and cut a song. It's on my Spotify. It's called Kids. Or no, it's called Cold Girls, I think. And did that one. And then I guess he like sent it to my manager now. And he really liked it. So we hopped on a Zoom and started working with my manager. And then pre-pandemic, my manager got me in the room with some other producers down in LA. And cut a few songs and then put those out just independently. And I got a couple offers from some different labels, but I didn't end up signing with them. And then Spinefarm reached out, and I just really loved my A&R, Darren, and the whole team. So I ended up going with them. And I think I got like pretty lucky. It was like a weird coincidence or something. Like, I met that dude in the coffee shop. So it all started from that, honestly, just like meeting that guy. And like, I live in a pretty small city. So like, it's like, it was like a rare chance, honestly. But just pretty crazy to me. So that's
That
pretty
is,
much it, though.
I'll say that is pretty crazy, but when those chances just come up out of nowhere, you have to take them. You have to explore them, because if you don't, especially, even at this point in life, but as you continue to grow older, and I think a lot of other people, especially as they get older, they think about this where, you think about the opportunities that you had earlier in life and you didn't take those opportunities, you didn't explore them to see what might happen on those. Something sits in your mind where you just kind of think about what if I would have talked to this person? What if I would have, actually gone to the coffee shop that day and actually made something happen like you did?
Yeah.
The what if just burns in your mind, and it sucks. And even though, you don't live in the biggest place and you have this random chance to talk to this guy that's going to end up connecting with all these other people, you took the chance, you ran with it. It is silly, but a lot of us have those random chances that happen to us in life that just happen all over the place. It could be in a small coffee shop. It could be literally at a baseball game. It could be, it could be, it could be at a concert even, where you just run into somebody. Hell, that happened to me. I ran into a buddy at a show, and him and his friends are building custom computers. And because of that, now they're sponsoring the podcast. It's just by putting yourself in opportunities and then taking those opportunities when you presented them, puts you in positions like this where, dude, you're signed at 17, man. There's artists out there that are just begging to be signed that never get signed, and you got it at such an early age. And the fact that you're continuing to take those chances, that's really what life is kind of about. Is you get one shot at life. Why would you play it safe? Like, actually go and swing for the fences, man.
Yeah, bro. I feel blessed because, like, that was, like, a crazy thing that happened. And, like, it was just a weird coincidence. So, I'm pretty blessed. So, it's nice.
I would definitely say so. I mean, earlier on, like you talked about, you're posting stuff on SoundCloud and you had these different, like, hip hop, maybe some pop stuff in there, then diving back into the rock generated styles or rock based styles. You're trying all these different things, even at a younger age, too. You're experimenting already with what your influences are, what your sound potentially could be. I mean, that's the key, especially at a young age for any artist. You don't know exactly what you're going to like as you continue to grow up. You don't know what's going to hit you, what's going to just impact your mind, what you're going to absolutely fall in love with. So try all these different things because you have the time. You're not bogged down with so many responsibilities. You're not bogged down with, having to have a job at that moment. You're not bogged down with having to have, kids or a car payment or have to pay, $2,000 in rent for a studio apartment. You don't got to do that shit just yet. So take the time. If you want to try it, go out and try it. You never know what might happen. You might end up just like Hunter at this point in time. You might not, but if you don't try it, you're never going to get to that point.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. It's about, like, going out there and, like, just putting yourself out there. So definitely agree, dude.
Now, sure. I always like to ask this question because I've heard some ridiculous stories about how this happened, but when Spinefarm reached out to you, how did that happen? Mostly because I did talk to a different band about a different time they got, like, how they got connected, and it was because the label slid into their DMs. So it's like, I love hearing, like, if there's some crazy story about potentially getting signed. So how did that all happen?
Basically, I was just, like, posting on, like, Spotify and stuff with me and my manager were just, like, putting out, like, music. And then my A&R Darren, he reached out to my manager to, like, get in contact. And when he reached out, I guess, like, he already knew my manager, and he was like, "Yo, like, no way, like, you're working with this artist. Like, I really like his music, and I want to, like, do a Zoom with him or whatever, like, get in contact." So he kind of just reached out, and he knew my manager, I guess, from, like, a while ago. And then we did a Zoom, and I met with him, and we got along really well, and he was a sick dude, so I just connected with him pretty good. And yeah, I just went from there, honestly.
So very nice. Again, it kind of goes back to the whole entire idea of putting yourself in the position to have the chance to do that. I mean, if you weren't working with your manager, you never know what might happen at that point in time. A lot of people in the music industry, they have these random connections that you're never going to know about unless you talk to them, unless you get to know them, unless you start working with them. And then stuff like this happens. Could you have gotten assigned to Spinefarm, in another way? Absolutely. But by taking the chances and putting yourself in the position to have these opportunities, working with that manager, putting all your stuff out there online, Spotify, SoundCloud, probably reaching out to as many different places you can to get them to, play your music or just post about it. it adds so much opportunity for discovery. Like you said, you were doing right before this, making TikToks. That's a great place to find for discovery as well when it comes to music, especially as we go into 2024. It still is as much as it was for the past couple of years. So why not make content and why not put yourself in a position to get discovered so that the people that are going to potentially help you make it happen have a chance to see you, connect with you, and grow with you overall at the same time?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly.
Say, man, you're just a living embodiment of that right now. Now, I did see something that came over on the press release, and I do have to ask about it because it seems too good to be true, especially with you as a musician recording. I saw that your parents met at Woodstock 99. Is
bro,
this
that's
true?
not even true, bro.
No, it's not. Okay, then what the hell was that happening?
Bro, dude, I'm pretty sure like I posted a TikTok about it, and like I was just like posting something as like a joke to like get views, because like that would get views, and then like somehow it like made it in, there. But I don't know. I don't know how it made it in there, but no, they probably would have though. They went, but I mean, I don't even know how that made it in the press release, honestly, because that was just from like a TikTok I made. So
okay. Now my other question around that, now hearing that it's not a true story, is when you made that TikTok, was that around the time when that Woodstock 99 documentary dropped on Netflix? Because that'd have been the perfect time to drop something like
I think
that.
it was. Yeah, it was like a year and a half ago or something, or like maybe longer. But yeah, I was just I think I saw that documentary, and then I don't know if that's why I made the TikTok, but that's probably why it was like in my mind at the time. But
I mean,
no, that's not even true. Like, it's not. I don't know how that made it in there.
well, damn, because I'm like, that would have been one hell of a story where
That
one
would
of
be
the most
cool.
infamous music festivals of all time was where your parents met, and essentially where your life kind of potentially could have started at some point in time.
Yeah.
However, if it's not true, it's like, damn. However, but still kind of funny that, a TikTok they made about that got some traction, and then people in a press release put it out there. Like, what the hell?
I know.
Well,
It's pretty funny, bro.
Now I'm looking at him like, both I look silly, but at the same time, that's just funny shit, man.
I know, dude. Because I was just lying on there, just like capping. But, dude, yeah, that was not even true. So it's kind of funny. But
that is kind of funny. But once again, but like kind of going back to what you said in your origin story, your full on Marvel movie style. You said your dad was a big influence, especially on you, helping you like show you a lot of music. Linkin Park, I know you mentioned a couple other. I think Soundgarden was in there as well. As you continue to grow with your music, as you continue to start, creating your own music and where you are today, I know a lot of those influences have really come into play. But how much, overall did the influence of your dad and the music that he showed you really come into forming your own musical style overall? Like, what's the story behind that?
Well, I would always listen to stuff like that with him, and when I was young, I didn't really like it that much. Like when I was really young, but like when I started getting a little older, I liked it a lot. And then I always would listen to that, I guess, like growing up, even till like now. And he like kind of put me on, I guess. I did a lot of like my own research too, and like dove in harder and like learned like every band, every musician, but he kind of like gave me the blueprint, I guess, to it. But for sure he definitely influenced like my taste in music, and like that's probably why I like to make the music that I like, is because growing up listening to it, it's kind of like embedded in my mind at this point. So
I mean, from my standpoint, I could totally understand that, because from a lot of people I've talked to, a lot of different musicians, myself included, even though I'm not a musician myself, I just love to talk about music with musicians, is parents are a huge starting point, because you're in the car with them. They're going to, especially when you're younger, they're going to be playing, if you're like 2-3 years old, they're going to be playing the Wiggles soundtrack. So of course you're going to be hearing how fruit salad is yummy, yummy, but they're going to end up playing their own stuff too, because they're parents. Would you at this age want to listen to, fruit salad yummy, yummy if it wasn't the deathcore version of it? Probably not.
Yeah, bro. Even like, I don't even think that I grew up on like stuff like that. I grew up on like heavy stuff. Like I remember when I was like 3, like in the garage, like my dad lifting and like he was playing like Metallica, like all like Slipknot, like these heavy bands, and like not like that. Metallica is not that heavy, but I mean, like pretty heavy bands. So I mean, what else? Pantera, you'd play like just like everything. Smashing Pumpkins too, like everything, bro. Silverchair.
So
My
like,
mom would always play like 2000s though,
okay.
like Gaga or like stuff like that. So that's like influence too, low key.
Yeah, but when you think about it, you want to have those wider spanning ideas for music in there, because if you just have like the similar like 2 or 3 different bands you listen to and you're fully influenced off of that, now everything's gonna be coming from that standpoint, everything's coming from that mindset, and there's a lot of other potential little intricacies that these other artists from other genres are having in their music.
Yeah, bro.
Where if you're listening to it, you might get influenced by it, and then you create this whole, conglomerate mold of what the hell else could happen. Use Linkin Park as the perfect example. I mean, the mixture between hip hop and rap with more of this rock alt metal style. I mean, it was more new metal, and that was something that kind of started coming up to fruition in the mid-90s with how Korn was doing it. But then Linkin Park kind of took it in a whole different direction. Slipknot took it in a different direction. And if it's not for having different influences from different areas of music along the music spectrum, you're not going to have this creativity that's going to be able to flow as easily, because the examples and the creation in your mind is not as readily there.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I would grow up on like, my mom would always play like 90s hip hop or like 90s pop and like 2000s pop, hip hop. And like some like older stuff too. I grew up on my grandparents just like being there a lot, like 60s, 70s rock too, like pretty much everything, bro. Like at this point, like R&B, pretty much like everything, dude. So that's kind of like when I was growing up, I was experimenting a lot with like hip hop, pop, R&B, and then that was kind of like all my influences just like pouring out, I feel like, and then kind of settled in what I love the most. So like alternative, grunge, punk kind of feel. So,
but again, that's what
cool, bro.
I'll say that's what all artists end up doing. But the fact of the matter is, you still have those influences in the back of your head.
Influences for sure, yeah.
And who knows what's going to come forward with your music going forward? It could get a lot crazier. It could get a lot more manic.
Yeah, dude, probably.
I mean, I'm just saying, who knows? All of a sudden we might get some like, 90s grunge, alt rock style infused with some kind of influence from Boys to Men, just because your mom was playing it back in the day.
Yeah, dude, that would be pretty cool, actually.
You never know. Smooth feeling kind of sound from a boy band with alt rock. Oh yeah.
Like R&B with, yeah, dude.
I mean, I know some bands are doing the R&B infusion with a couple of things, especially even a Spinefarm band too with Varsity. A couple good friends, like they infuse R&B with a lot of their stuff as well, from rock and metal. So like I know it's there. I know that bands are doing it, and it all depends upon how you're taking it and how you want to take your influences, put in your music. Because as one thing I love to say, especially when it comes to art, music is your creation. So of course there's gonna be people that like certain things, people that don't like certain things. But let's have you just make the music you want to make, because that's going to make you make music for longer. We'd rather have you doing the things you love for a lot longer than us telling you what to do. You put out an album or two and then you hate it, and then you go to a day job and sit behind a desk and just wither away when where creativity goes to die. And I say, fuck that shit.
Yeah, bro. I know. Dude, that's why I hate having a job, dude, because I have no like creativity when I'm like at my job all day and like just slaving away, bro. Like it gets in the way for sure. Like creativity and just like being able to have time too to like work on stuff like when you're there all day. So
like it's a huge problem. Even I run into that too when it comes to wanting to do stuff for the podcast. I'll be at work and it's like, I would love to have that time to go and do something else, or even if there's potential downtime, like I want to always, take my chair, turn it to the right a little bit, start working on my computer and going absolutely nuts. But it's just like the mental capacity that you have to have when it comes to a full-time job, whether it's something that's, behind a desk, whether it's a remote position, or whether it's something that actually requires you to do, physical labor. Mentally, it just kind of like that focus is draining, and the focus that you have for that just to do a remedial task over and over again really kills the creativity. It is a necessary evil that, if you're a musician and you have to support yourself, you have to go through that, but unless you're making, the big bucks. But the biggest question is, how do you take that focus and continue to be able to foster creativity for your own music off of it when you're either not working at that full-time job, or you can have a break from it and have that moment where you can actually work on your own stuff versus having to just, type on a computer and send this email in Microsoft Outlook. Oh, wait, that's corporate jargon. Oh, dear God.
I know. I know, bro. Shock.
I'll say, because you said you have a job right now, correct?
No, not right now.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
I did. Yeah. I used to work at a pizza place and deliver pizzas, and then stopped going. And then I quit because I was feeling like I was having no time for anything. And so I'm just kind of doing like DoorDash now. But it's all right. It's kind of better because I can make my own schedule. So a little better.
Well, it's kind of like you're at a very interesting age too. If you're doing DoorDash at 17, I mean, it's somewhere where, how do I put it this way? Again, you don't have all the responsibilities as much as someone that, at my age would have, being 29. But at the same time, you're still trying to find a way to make yourself support yourself. But you have the ability to do it in a way where you're able to continue to create something and not have, a full-time job stand in the way and have responsibilities and some focus on remedial tasks absolutely crush your motivation to continue to create at that given time. Because, you can have a full-time job and still, be as creative as possible. But the problem is then you kind of have to compartmentalize it and schedule it out so that you're ready for it. And that can be draining in its own right.
Yeah, I know. Exactly, bro. Yeah.
So then to all the other young artists out there who might be in a similar position that you are, like how do you stay creative at this standpoint? Like, how do you stay motivated in order to be able to do what you want to do, stay creative and stay in that free flowing state?
I don't know. I feel like I'm always pretty creative. Like I just always want to make music. And some days though, like I won't have inspiration or anything. So I'll kind of just like watch a lot of movies, and sometimes that will like give me inspiration, or like go outside, just like put yourself in environments where you can like get inspiration, I guess. Because if you're just sitting at home all day, just like not doing anything, you're not going to be like that inspired to like write or like be creative at all. So, I mean, you kind of have to like go in scenarios to get inspiration, or like do something to like feed your mind like some sort of inspiration at least. But yeah, for me, I usually just I'm always inspired, honestly, to just like write, and just always topics popping up in my head and to write about. And like I just love playing the guitar too, so I'm always messing around on there and like working on stuff, and I'm kind of like addicted to it at this point. Like I'm obsessed, bro, like with making music. I love it.
If you want to make music for your life, I mean, being obsessed with it kinda is a requirement in a way.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
I still think the most important thing you said in that whole entire just little synopsis was when you're not feeling that inspiration, you take yourself out of the current situation that you're in, current location that you're in, current like scenery that you're in, and put yourself somewhere else, not with the intention of trying to get inspiration back, but more with the intention of trying to break the dullness that, life can bring your way. Because I felt that too, especially at times when, I'm burnt out, because of my full-time job. Podcast stuff just ain't, feeling or hitting that right. Yeah, I got to find a way to just change the scenery and change my mindset without trying to focus on, okay, now I got to change from not being inspired to inspired. You got to just let it happen. Going outside, going for a walk or something, going to a freaking park and just taking in nature actually is really helpful. Just maybe going and connecting with friends or just going and do something with a friend just to not have your mind, be in this like consistent, I'm going to work and now I'm going home kind of feel.
Yeah.
Just, because if you're with your friends, you and your friends are probably doing stupid shit. I mean, me and my friends do stupid shit. And that just is a total like energy, like re-energizer. Because now we're just feeling like, we're just living life at this point. We're just having fun. We're being human. We're not being, this like monotonous, go from one spot to the next and do the same. The human body was not meant to sit at a desk all day and just work on something remedial and then sit at home and then try and like get motivation up. And then all of a sudden you got to go to bed and do it all over again the next day. We weren't built to do that shit.
Yeah. Or just even like taking stuff in, like listening to all sorts of like music. If you're like trying to be an artist or something or get inspiration to write, just like listening to music, honestly, too, just like all sorts of music can give you like ideas and like inspiration just from listening to music too, honestly. But if you're really not inspired, then like go do something. But yeah, that's kind of what I do too for inspiration. Just like put on a few albums that I've never listened to or something, and just it just sparks new ideas, just new information. So
that's kind of a good
one
idea.
too. Yeah, or just like putting on something new and like hearing something for the first time or like hearing like certain words for the first time, like just gives you like not a new perspective, but just like new information to run with, I guess. I don't know how to explain it.
I think it might be, I think I might be able to explain it another way too, because for me it was, I still remember this was back in like September. I went out to the ill-fated Blue Ridge Rock Fest of 2023. Oh dear God. But at the time, like going out there, like, I had a lot that I was doing for the podcast before then. I knew my full-time job was going to just get like crazy manic right after I got back. So there's a lot that was going on. It's like, okay, how am I going to beat the inspiration and just try and find something new to just kind of maybe sink my teeth into? And I ended up going and actually seeing Sleep Token play live. I did not care for their music. It just didn't hit me. But seeing them play live, just being in that environment was like, holy shit. So now it's like there's this inspiration that just hits because I was in a spot where I was being like, I was forcing myself to experience something and I had to take it in because, well, I'm like, what am I going to do? Am I going to leave and miss my spot and miss the pit for Motionless in White? Hell no, I'm not going to do that. But now I'm taking this on. I'm like, this is something that is utterly ridiculous. Like now I'm actually into this. I'm feeling inspired to check out some new stuff, see what other inspirations are out there, and check out some potential new sounds that might connect similarly to this. It's kind of like what happens if you would take a playlist and all of a sudden it's like, okay, you start listening to Sleep Token. Then you jump into, like Ray Charles right after, really go awkward. Then go the Beatles. Then go Limp Bizkit. Then go Boys to Men. Then go, Hannah Montana. Literally go with some little kids bop. Following up with Akudama by Alpha Wolf. Like you're just going to throw yourself for a complete loop. But just the randomness of it could inspire you because who knows? You might find something from the Hannah Montana theme song mixing with Akudama that might just mix in your head and be like, holy shit, I want to try this.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That happens all the time, honestly. Not like those songs, but like the same examples.
Yeah, I was just trying to come up with some random songs off the top of my head, and that's what I came up with. I know definitely for you is going to be different. For anybody else, it's going to be different. Honestly, create a playlist. Just think of an artist, pick one song from that artist, and then go to a completely different artist in a different genre. Like kind of like have like a roll the dice moment. Build like a playlist like 30 songs from all different artists across all different decades, all different genres, and then go for like a walk or something and hit shuffle. See what the fuck happens. Yeah, that's a good one. For sure. Shoot, we're going to have to cut that up and be like, okay, we came up with something. This is going to be the Hunter Oliveri way to, get back your inspiration via playlisting.
All right.
I might need to come up with a different name for that, but you know what? I mean, it's a work in progress after, 5 seconds.
That's kind of sick.
I do also want to jump into your own music as well, especially because your most recent single, Dumb, is out and available to
Yeah.
listen to.
So I
So,
put another one out, Spiraling, but Dumb is like the big one for sure.
Dumb is the big one, and that's not dumb. That's good
Yeah.
stuff. So jumping into it, one thing I would like to know is when it comes to you writing this song, what was your inspiration from the meaning, from the perspective of the song? Mostly because I love to take my own take on it and dive deep into it. And I love to see where your mindset was, where my mindset was, and kind of cross the two. So when you're writing Dumb, what were you inspired by and what was the meaning of it?
I was inspired by like the feel of it kind of was inspired by Weezer. But the meaning, oh yeah, and the movie Kids 1995.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen that. It was kind of like sort of like from that mindset, I guess, sort of like just being a kid, growing up, not wanting to do shit and just not wanting to go to school, just kind of like everything that I was feeling at that time. I made it like a almost like a year and a half ago probably now. So kind of a while ago, but yeah, just sort of about like growing up honestly and like being a kid, just wanting to have fun pretty much.
And
It's
that's
pretty much
something that adults always forget that, you were a kid once. You just wanted to have fun. Come on.
yeah,
You don't
yeah,
gotta
bro.
be so fucking boring all the time.
Yeah, bro, just not having like any worries, I guess.
Yeah, because I when it came to the sonic sound and the inspiration behind it, I'm not gonna lie, I did pick up on a good amount of Weezer in it.
Yeah, Weezer, Nirvana, some
I
Green
picked up
Day.
on a tidbit of Nirvana. I also picked up on I think it's like what's the song name? It's like All These Things I've Done by the Killers from the Hot Fuss album from
Oh, all
2004.
right. All
Like
right. I
just
didn't
the
even
way
notice
that
that.
some of it progressed, I'm like, holy shit, now I'm picking up on that. But now again, you're taking the song from your standpoint. From my standpoint now, again, I'm a little older than you, and I took it as about not, potentially when you're younger, not being taken seriously because, when you're a teenager or something like that, you kind of remember that, we were just like, we have to remember, we were just dumb. We were horny. We wanted to get high and shit. We were trying to find our own way in life. And there's a lot of people that come along that are more grown up and they'll tell you to grow up, get a job, do something more serious with your life because they feel like, oh, I know what's coming next and I want to help you out, but you got to get serious and whatnot. But they also forget that, you were a kid at one point. It was fun being dumb and random at times. Like, you don't got to be so serious. Don't lose that enjoyable feeling of being a kid and doing some dumb shit as life goes on, as time rolls on. Because the more and more you turn into this just like absolute drone of an adult human, you're just going to end up losing everything that's fun in life. Why wouldn't you want to go out and potentially, just drink with your friends in the backyard till 3 a.m. and have a blast? Why wouldn't you? It's winter right now. Why wouldn't you want to go sledding with your friends and try and relive your youth? Yes, you might get hurt. You might want to stretch out of it, bring the freaking Tylenol, but it's going to be something you're going to remember for the next 20, 30 years. That'll be the nights you're back at the bar or something with your friends, hanging out. Those are the stories you're going to be talking about. You don't talk about the stories of, oh, I went to work today and that's what happened. No, you talk about the fun shit you did. Why wouldn't you want to be doing more of that?
I know, dude. Yeah, it's pretty much what it's about. Just having fun and just doing dumb shit.
I mean, I can look at it from my standpoint too. I'm like, dude, of course, do I do as much dumb shit as I did when I was your age? I don't have the time to do as much dumb shit as I was your age. Do I still make time to do dumb shit though? Hell yeah, I do.
Yeah, dude. I think I was wrote that probably 2 years ago almost now. Just came out. It's crazy, bro.
What took so long for it to come out though?
I don't know. I think it was just I did the whole. Wait 1 sec. My phone. Someone's calling me. Gotta hang up. don't know what happened, dude.
I'll say it's not the first time that's happened, so you're good, man.
What the heck? What the heck? Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Oh, okay. All right, sweet. Yeah, someone was calling me and I hung up, and it like ended the Zoom.
Don't worry, dude. I've had shit like that happen before. It's always funny. I can put something in the middle of it where it sounds like, like, technical problems or I'm going to take another call. He'll be right back.
Well, I forgot what we were talking about. We were talking about
Why Dumb took so long to come out.
Oh yeah. I did like the whole record in like one trip. I was down there for a couple weeks and I did the whole record, and then the songs were just like getting mixed and mastered. So I think that's what like took forever, honestly. But just like that whole process, and then getting the videos for all the songs, I think, yeah, it was just like a long thing. It took a few months for the songs to get done, and then the video, had to schedule it, and then yeah, and then set it up for release and everything. So I think that was pretty much it.
It's just there's probably just a lot of other things that kind of came into play that made it take so much time to come out. Just the video, mixing, mastering. You never know what might happen there. Plus trying to get signed at the same time as well. A lot of different intricacies that come into play that end up making, this song end up coming out, 2 years after it was initially conceived and written.
I think it was like a year or little over a year, but now it's been like almost 2 years from today, I think. But yeah, pretty much though. It's crazy.
I'll say I've heard other crazy stories around artists when it comes to, we've had this song ready, we had this album ready, but then it gets pushed back further and further. And it's all because, life happens, shit happens. We just had a band, the podcast called Mavis from Germany. They had their record pretty much set and ready to go. And then the pandemic hit. And then they lost band members because band members started to leave, just pursuing other interests. Then their whole entire studio had a studio fire and they lost all their equipment and everything. It's just like, damn, sometimes shit just happens, but you just got to push through at times, especially if you got a song or a record that you're really passionate about and you want to put out there in the world. You can't let anything stop you, even if it is a global pandemic, even if it is just something very small and tiny, even if it is losing all your freaking equipment. If you're really passionate about putting out a song, you're going to make sure it gets out there.
Yeah, I relate to that, bro, for sure.
It's like, hit that one in the feels, man, right here,
bro. Because there's this song that I've been wanting to come out, dude, and it's been like a couple years too, and it's finally like gonna be on the album. So I'm so excited about it because like it wasn't gonna come out or something, and then now it's gonna come out. So 2 songs actually. So really excited about it.
Alrighty, so now I gotta ask. I mean, I don't want to know what these songs are about. I don't want to know what's gonna happen with them. All I want to know is what are the names of these songs. So when the album comes out, I know which ones to look at for the ones that took forever to come out that Hunter's really jazzed about for everyone to listen to.
Yeah, my favorite ones are Novocaine and then Lunatics. That is the other one.
Already,
you don't want to know like the feel or anything, huh?
No, I don't want to know the feel. I just want to know the name because I want to be able to, especially in the audience as well. I want us to be able to jump into the album. I want us to be able to jump into those songs with no prior knowledge so we can experience it for the first time and not have any type of embedded idea of what might it be, what might it sound like. So if it doesn't exactly hit what we have in our brains, then we miss out on that potential disappointment. I do not want to have that happen.
Yeah, so Novocaine and Lunatics. Those are my favorites.
And Lunatics on your brand new album and is about to come out when? If you can tell us. If not,
I don't even know. Honestly. I don't even know. Like, I don't know. Probably like 4 months or so. Someone's calling me again. Oh my gosh. Who is calling me? Oh my gosh. I need to like mute my phone or something.
Or if you can set to like do not disturb.
I know. I need to like, I don't know how to put it. I think I can put it on do not disturb, huh? There we go. All right.
All right,
Sweet.
perfect. No more calls
Sorry, bro.
getting in
I
the
don't
way.
know why that's happening. I never get calls.
You're the most popular guy whenever we're doing calls,
Oh,
man.
bro, I never get calls, dude. It's so annoying.
Well, how about this? The next time you're waiting for a super big call from the label, from, a venue, from anybody, just give me a call. We'll start talking, and within like 20 minutes, they're going to call you back.
I know.
At that point, we'll just start talking about the most dumb shit possible, like firing water balloons from a moving car or the government, dumb shit.
That sounds fun, bro. That's a good video idea. From like slingshot water balloon thing from Cars.
Dude, that was something that I conceived.
Hitting old people.
I'll put it this way. That is an idea that I actually conceived when I was your age, was throwing water balloons out of a moving car. I thought about the slingshot idea, but all we had to work with was my buddy's '04 Impala, and getting a slingshot in there was not going to work. So literally, we had a tub full of water balloons in the back seat. My buddy Chris was driving, my buddy Alex in the front seat. I was in the back, and we just had the bucket back there ready to go. So if we found people we knew, we found people that weren't old, didn't have dogs, and weren't kids, we had some fun with it. We probably could have gotten arrested for it, but
that weren't old. I was gonna say for a video it'd be funny to like have old people getting hit, but like fake old people.
See, for a video, absolutely. In real life, that maybe not the best idea. But dude, if you take that idea and run with it for a video, I'm gonna say this: go for it, man, because that was one of the dumbest ideas I ever had. But we did it twice. We did it twice.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty funny, dude. That'd be sick.
Oh God, the amount of times I probably should have gotten arrested when I was 17, but didn't. And it wasn't even like for like crazy criminal stuff. It was for just being a juvenile dumbass.
Wait, you went to jail, you said?
No, I said there's probably a number of times I could have gotten arrested and maybe should have gone, but it's nothing that was like crazy, like bad criminal. It was just me being a juvenile dumbass.
Oh, yeah.
Red Foreman would have stuck many feet in my ass if he was my dad.
That's funny, dude.
Well, shit, now when the album comes out, man, we're all going to be excited for it. Now my next question is really taking a look at it. We're ending 2023. You're giving it a time for the album, maybe a couple of months or so. You're not really sure, but what is your plan going into 2024? How are you going to make sure that 2024 for your music career is the absolute best ever so far? I got to put so far in because, dude, you're young. You got your whole life ahead of you, whole music career ahead of you. I hope this next year is your best one, but the best one so far.
Yeah. Probably just gonna keep going on like social media and try to get like some more buzz on there, and then keep putting out songs, better songs every time, and then probably just like the social media thing, getting that down, because I had like a hard time with that because I didn't really like it at first, like the TikTok thing and just like all social medias, but kind of getting the hang of it. So I'm going to start doing that more, and then hopefully crush it on there 2024, get some more buzz, maybe land a big tour, and do that, keep putting out songs, and then dude, I think the most important thing is like the social media, I have to say, but I feel like that's like the biggest part of it, so probably that.
I can understand that being the biggest part of it, especially where you're at right now. I know the guy is in a band called Opal and Sky, having the podcast back in November, and they're super big with some of their content, especially around the rock and metal on TikTok, on Instagram, with all the shorts they do. And they're like, yeah, we were going to build that up first, get everyone talking about us, get the buzz around it before going out on tour, because they're independent and trying to go out on tour. That ain't cheap. Like, I would love to see you go out on tour. I would love to be able to see you play live all across the United States, go into Canada as well, play live on a big tour. But I don't want also to financially ruin you so you can't do this going forward. Like, I want to make sure you're still, being able to do this after taking a big venture on like that for the first time. Of course, afterwards it's going to get a lot easier if you're able to continue it on. But I do not want that first and be, so, like, okay, this was great. But now finances, we got to really work to build back up before we go and do this. Might not be for a year or two. No. I want you to be like, okay, first tour, you're all set. You get what you need, and then you're able to jump on the second tour, like at the very latest a year later.
Yeah, that's probably the plan. Hopefully land a tour and then go back out. Yeah. It's nice because I have a label too, so I don't think I have
Mhm.
to pay for like much besides like food maybe, but yeah. Hopefully like the social media thing goes good 2024 because like that's like a big part of it now. So I think I got it down though.
Hey man,
What I want to go for.
Hey man, as long as you're able to create social, like your social media, basically make something that's going to connect with people, but also make sure that it's still your
Yeah.
own. That's the trouble because we could make stuff that is our own, and it's not likely going to get watched. If we're going to make just stuff that we find great because not everyone's going to watch what we want. If we make the same kind of content that is popular over and over and over again, we're just going to get burnt out on social media because then we're creating stuff where it's like it feels like more like a full-time job where you're just working on this mundane task and the creativity is killed because you're not able to do what you want to do. You got to find a way where it's like you can marry the two together with the focus still being on you making the content that you want to put out there that's going to inspire you but also hits with people. Like it's a fine line to toe, but if you continue to work at it, you're continuing to take social media from feeling like it was boring to now you're having fun with it, you're on the right path, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, dude. That was a part of it because I didn't like it really, but now I'm starting to like it. So it's kind of fun now and talking with people on there, like people who support and the haters too. But dude, I actually got banned on TikTok because I was like replying to haters. Like I was like, I banged your mom. Like shut up or like just shit like that, and like they were reporting me, so I got banned. But I ended up getting it back, so it worked out.
Okay, so for everyone that was hating on you, clearly they were not in Call of Duty chat lobbies in 2010. Clearly. Because you
Bro, I
just saying
know,
I
like
banged your mom, like that was commonplace back
I know, bro.
in
I was
that
just
day.
they're like this song's ass, or like this song is like this song sucks, or like something whatever, and I'm like, shut up, like I banged your mom, like they just like they just were reporting me because like they hate me, so
Dude, next time
but
someone says your song sucks, responds with, yeah, but you swallow.
I know, dude. I'll probably get banned for like that. Dude, like I just like agree with them now because like I'm just like for real or like I know because I don't want to get banned, dude. So I just like agree with them because they're not gonna report that. Like,
Yeah.
uh,
Or it's like, oh, this song sucks. Yeah, who do I think I am putting out such a terrible song when you're sitting in your cubicle wishing you could do something like this? Oh.
yeah,
They'd still
bro.
probably report
It's a good
that shit even
response.
though you didn't say anything bad.
I know, dude. I don't even know what I would get banned for now because I've got like community guidelines so much, bro, for like random stuff that isn't even like community guidelines. It's so annoying, but
Hey man, people can dish it out, but they can't take it when it comes back right at them.
I know. Even for
Weak
videos though, like some random videos will get banned. Just like what the fuck? Like doesn't make any sense.
doesn't make any sense at all. Well, Hunter, I got one more question for you before I wrap this up. You ready?
For sure, yeah.
I love asking this to all the artists I've been interviewing. I've started this back in September and it has been a huge hit ever since I started it. So I'm bringing it to you, man.
All
Can
right.
you give me 3 bands or artists that you're absolutely loving right now? Either
Right
bands that are
now?
bands that are inspiring you, bands that are just like on the up and coming that we should all be able to check out. I want to hear 3. I love hearing 3 suggestions for new bands. So I want to know what you're checking out that's new
All
that you
right,
love. So go.
one band I really like that's new, I would say is probably Turnstile. They're pretty cool. I like Turnstile a lot. Uh they're not like massive, I don't think yet.
They're
So
getting there though.
yeah, they are for sure. I started listening to them a while ago, but so I don't know like how big they are now. But another one, probably the Vines. I feel like they're kind of underrated. They have some bangers. What else? Um, hmm. Let me think about the last one. Hmm. Trying to think of someone like kind of like low key. Oh, there's this band, Life After Youth. They're pretty sick, honestly. They do like a really good mix of like the grunge thing, like rock thing with pop. So they're a pretty cool band, honestly. I get a lot of influence from them, and they're pretty new. And another one, Sugar Pit too. He's pretty sick. I don't know if you know Sugar Pit, but Sugar Pit's on the rise for sure. He's gonna blow up. Yeah, probably those three though. Vines, uh, Life After Youth, and Turnstile for sure.
Those are perfect ones.
Newer bands, sort of newer bands.
Those are perfect ones for us to go check out and for everyone else to go check out as well. So go and do it because I said so. Yeah. Well, Hunter, now as we bring this podcast to conclusion, one thing I'd like to do is give my guest, which is you, a chance to say whatever you want to say, plug or to plug, promote wherever you want to promote at the end of the episode. So, my friend, floor is yours.
All right. Let me see. Maybe some like inspiration. Just like if anyone's watching this and they want to do something, just don't give up. Honestly, just anything's possible for real. So just don't give up. And if you can dream it, it's possible. And just don't give up, honestly. But I don't really care about like doing a promo too much. But I just want to drop some advice, I guess.
Hey, that's a good way to go about it, man. You know, because of what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to do the promo for you. So now it's time for this podcast with three things. First things first, when it comes to finding Hunter online, when it comes to finding him on social media, where you can check out all his crazy videos, where, you know, you can respond to him and tell him that his song sucks and get roasted right afterwards. But don't report him for community guidelines because you did that shit to yourself. Or watch his music videos, stream his music, go support him, and go make sure you know when he's ready to go out play live so you can go check him out. I'm going to be your own personal Google on this one. Go script for the podcast, which is fine. Hunter Oliveri online. Links and labels for everything are going to be there. So all you have to do is go find the one you want. Click like Tik Tok, click, Instagram, click YouTube, click Spotify, whatever it might be. And you're able to go right there. I got you covered. So go and do it. I'm doing it. You're doing it. Now do it.
Thanks.
Just do it. Shia LaBeouf style. All right, Hunter, now it's time for number 2. Whenever a guest on the podcast, I enjoy having the podcast, I tend to make a certain promise as a way to say thank you for being on the podcast. I appreciate your time, and I would like to continue to support you in the future. So I do it like this. It's not an if. Fuck having a promise with an if. That means it might not happen. That's not a promise. I say when, because I say it's going to happen. We just don't have a day or time yet. When I get to see you perform live for the first time, I'm going to go all Liam Neeson from Taken on your ass. I will look for you. I will pursue you. I will find you. I will come and say hi. And first round's on me.
Bro, that's funny, dude. Thank you so much.
And I like to make good on my promises because, well, in a world where they don't make good on promises, one man stands above the rest. Me. So now it's step number 3, Hunter. As we bring this fully to its conclusion, I cannot end this episode by saying goodbye. That is way too final. I made you a promise. And dude, I'm going to be following your career. I would love to be back on the podcast again in the future, see how much you continue to grow, and have another crazy, wacky conversation with you, my man. So this cannot be goodbye. This is. I'll see you later.
Sweet, bro. Thank you so much.
Well, folks, this is my interview with Hunter Oliveri. And now it is time for Kevin's final thought. Dude, I love interviewing these new artists, interviewing these upcoming artists. And it's because you get to see who these people are. You get to see what they're about. And you get to just connect with them because they have the inspirations, they have the goals, they have the aspirations to go and do this stuff. And I love Hunter's mindset behind it too, because I mean, he just wants to put himself in a position to do this stuff, and he wants to continue to have fun doing it. He doesn't want anything to stand in his way in regards to it. He wants to keep going forward. He wants to keep having fun, and I got to respect the guy for it. And I kind of look back at it where, life is about having fun, enjoying it, making the most out of it. We only get one shot in life. Why in the blue hell would you want to spend life just doing this monotonous thing over and over again just to go home, sit down in front of the TV and do nothing? Now, if that is your absolute idea of happiness, then yeah, go and do it. You fucking won then. But if that's not your idea and you're living that life, what the hell are you doing? You can tell Hunter doesn't want to live that way, and he's going to do what he can to make his music. He's going to try. He's going to have fun. He's not going to take life too seriously because we don't get out of this life, alive. No one does. The only two things that are undefeated only two things that are certain are death and taxes. Fuck taxes. Sorry, government. No, I'm not. But, man, I just really like this kid, man. He really has this great head on his shoulders, and just man, just really, really intelligent with what's going on. Really got to give him a lot of credit for that one. Hope the best for him, and go make sure you support him by going to the description of the podcast where it says Find Hunter Oliveri online. Links and labels for everything are down there. So go follow him, go check out his music, go check out his TikToks, and if you're going to tell him that his song sucks, he's going to come right back at you. Now, don't report him for community guidelines, because if you can dish it, don't be afraid if it comes right back at you, and don't, be a bully on that one. You know who you are. When it comes to Chord Progression Podcast, well, follow us online and social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links to the podcast below for you. Hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube right down here to make sure you're subscribed to the podcast channel. New episodes every single Tuesday and Thursday, interviewing all these great artists, big artists, little artists, new artists. Oh yeah, we're giving you all the rock and metal world. Also, these reaction videos that we like to do every single Friday. And if you're on Spotify, Podcast, iHeartRadio, Amazon, please hit the follow button there or subscribe button. All the episodes, the full episodes, are out there every single Tuesday and Thursday as well. Hit the like button on these episodes as well to help push us in the algorithm. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Hunter. Now, that's you guys. Thank you for listening to the Chord Progression Podcast. My name is Kevin, and you guys know how I end every single week. This is the big, healthy, and hearty. See ya!